we back, y'all. Live on the Riverbend. It's your man, A. Rucker.
It's your boy, Marvier.
You know what it is, Banks Franklin.
And we got our second guest on the show, Mr. Joshua Young.
Hey, everybody out there.
On its own.
Hey, thanks for having me, fellas.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Local
Yes,
champion.
Appreciate you coming.
Thanks for coming.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm honored.
Hey, Kev.
Woohoo!
Oh, never mind. He got it. Anyway, so tell us what you got going on, Mr. Josh, man. Tell us what you out here doing.
Well, it's a continuation from everything that's been happening since I started with social advocacy and activism. The current projects that's going on, of course, we're going to be moving into our third annual Buffalo Soldier Walk.
Oh, okay.
Where we start at the other end of the state, and at the Indiana border, and we carry the American flag on foot all the way back across the Alton. We link up with the Memorial Day Parade.
Oh, word.
Y'all walking?
We walk.
Oh.
We've done that twice already.
Soldier.
Right on.
Third annual. This is the third
Shout
time.
out to them and them toes.
And
Yeah. I'm a little sideways in the middle for some reason.
Go ahead. You can keep on going.
You can keep going.
well, the Buffalo Soldiers Memorial Day Walk is to commemorate the Buffalo Soldiers and its idealism, minority veterans.
Okay.
But every year, the specific value of that walk is for the Altonian veterans. This year I'll be releasing the list of the Altonians that served in World War I. Those are our family names. Those men, they all left, they all served, they came back home. Everybody came home alive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, that was still during the segregated portion of America's military.
So they came back with nothing.
They came back under the promise. They didn't get what was given to them. Of course, that's just the age-old thing when it comes to American
Yeah. My 40
military.
acres. I still want that 40 acres on my. I want the mule. We couldn't even get a mule. We need a pig. Give me a pig. We can get some bacon.
But we got the time now. Now, economics has changed. The forefathers, the people who fought before us, the Buffalo Soldiers, the World War I, World War II veterans that were black and fought.
Shout out them.
Yeah, we got to show them out. But,
Definitely.
the ones specifically out of Alton, those names are still here. It's Smiths and Johnsons and Hickmans and Taylors.
That's knowledge people need to know.
Yeah, that's something to be proud of.
They probably don't even know.
That their parents went off. Now, at that same time when they came back, a lot of the buildings that were for the progression of black people were created back in the 1920s. Around that time, like the NAACP, some of those groups were started back then. The American Legion Post 354. That's a chapter dedicated to minority veterans. When those men came home, they immediately got to work in their community. They started creating different organizations to get out there in the community and start progressing the community. Still a segregated Alton, so you had a lot of history in the Mexico Midtown area.
Yeah,
Right.
A lot of backdrop.
Now, we tie that into my style of political advocacy and politics. With me being a current precinct committeeman of the Mexico Midtown area, the first press was to bring about that legacy. That's, shoot an application as a precinct committeeman to make the Mexico Midtown the first local historic black district.
Right.
Now, we still have to press for those things. We got some bad politics out the administration.
That don't want it to happen.
Yeah, they that was a free application.
Mm-hmm.
And, I pulled the research, pulled the
and
information.
it took all this time for somebody to do something like that.
What's crazy about it is afterwards, now they added a tax to it. So now it's going to cost me over $1,800 to submit the same application.
That was just free.
That was just free.
That
was just free.
That's systematic oppression.
And shout out to all.
That's fucked up, man.
Shout out to the city.
Brett was like, "What? Oh no, nigga."
But I mean, we gotta look at this new modern age of politics.
Niggas voted that nigga in.
Hey, you get what you get.
Right.
But the truth is, you don't need the administration to move your people.
Right.
No, you don't.
You don't. The things like what you guys are doing here. Those are the example setters. And then you just teach it outward.
Right.
You don't cover the information about how you get down. You know what I'm saying? You kind of teach the game a little bit. We're going to have to switch it up a little bit. We got a bigger responsibility in today's times.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got the superficial value with Black Panther.
Right.
With that movie just dropped.
Yeah.
It got everybody feeling good.
Man,
feeling real good.
But that's the superficial value of truth.
Mm-hmm.
We can still bring about that same type of subcultural representation through Renaissance here.
Mm.
And, as I did my numbers, crunching social advocacy numbers, I found that Alton's numbers is, macro, micro, meaning so big, so below,
Right.
to America's numbers. It's, roughly a 70, 60, 40, 30 split between, whites and blacks.
Right. Alton, if y'all don't know, to the people on the pages and on the lives that don't know about Alton, they ain't never been here that's watching, it's one of the most unique places.
It is very unique.
Diverse.
Very diverse.
Now, what we're moving into now is we need to bring about, kind of a excavating Alton's black legacy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we need to move over into now. And that's what one of the current projects moving into from Black history, moving into March is moving into Black present.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, into different terminology like Afrofuturisms and stuff like that.
That's what's up. I like that. Yeah.
But, Alton has got the ability to show it an example, on all three levels of truth, whether it's the superficial, the consequential, if, ands, cause and effect, or the essential value of the subculture. What really are we as a people? What do we make up as a people?
Mm-hmm.
And we stick to the superficial representation like in Black Panther. If you notice, it's a bunch of different tribes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he was the king of a bunch of different tribes.
Yeah.
All of them had their representation.
Mm-hmm.
All of them come to the table and challenge, like, hey, yeah, I want to challenge.
I want to be the king at this time. Yeah.
Those tribes and American representation for African Americans, those are paradigms.
Right.
Thought process. The way you think, like the Christians, Black Christians.
Uh-huh.
That's a
Mhm.
paradigm. That's a tribe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The Black Israelites.
Israelites, that's a tribe. Another paradigm.
Mm-hmm.
True.
That's basically what they was representing when they was,
that's a representation.
Yeah, you
of
had
that.
the gangsters.
Now we
Yeah, then you had the
got to move
gangsters,
forward.
you had the Joe Steen people, they was all up.
Hey, I'm from Midtown.
Hey, shout out to the Joe. I had great times out there.
It was in the snow.
What's up, Joe?
You got to get you some extra wear.
Died?
You in the
Yeah.
snow.
What?
That motherfucker show went black. Yeah, that motherfucker died.
Oh, that's
can't-
my heavy arms. I hit the table.
She
No,
can't
no,
do
I
that.
hit
Anyway.
the EJ table.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it's just, you know what I'm saying, technical difficulties.
Yeah,
we went through,
yeah,
man.
we
I'm telling
Oh,
you.
yeah, this ain't weak. This ain't nothing new.
Well,
But yeah, go ahead.
that
though.
nigga- go ahead.
Well, we got to talk. What I'm doing is to kind of up the game of the activists. The activists of the old days, their game was necessary of that time, but the times and the social norms change, and the activists of today's time need to change with it.
Right.
Like you get over in St. Louis, that I can't think of what his name is, but he had to fight for his slot. It looked just like me and you. Got dark skin as I am, and
I think
He's
I know what
doing-
you're talking about.
he's doing amazing things with that seat over there.
Right.
He's out there giving out coats. He's standing on the front lines.
Mm-hmm.
He's out there doing amazing things. He's an activist that took the shot to step up. Like with the gubernatorial candidates, you got J.B. Pritzler. Who's not getting enough play is Teal Hardeman, African American
I say
candidate.
black guy.
Shout
yeah, I
out
heard
Teal
that.
Hardeman right
Shout out
there,
to
y'all.
Teal Hardeman.
Y'all do y'all research, man. Go vote for Teal.
Now, Teal Hardeman is an activist and an advocate. He's been out there on the street level. He's been trying to, curb gun violence up there in Chicago. And he's been really fighting at the people's base value. And if we
Mhm.
look at today's time and we compare contrast with yesterday's political standards when it comes to Republicans and Democrats. At one point in time, African Americans was Republican.
All Republicans.
Yeah.
Then Martin Luther King goes to jail, gets released. We all switch over to become Democrats.
That's right.
But if
That
we
was
look
Lyndon said, I'm going to make them niggas vote Democrat for 400 years.
now, you
I'm
got
a Democrat.
you got to look at the social trend in that. Is it cultural conditioning? Are we being conditioned? Are we still in the measure of being conditioned?
A lot of people, I think.
I ain't gonna lie. Republicans don't help.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
But see, that's what he's saying, though.
they don't. They
Are
don't
you
help them.
going from Republicans to Democrats because Democrats are helping, or because you're just looking for?
Well,
help?
it's not like
A lot of people feel
Democrats.
that Republicans
It's not like
is
Democrats
right.
did a whole bunch.
No,
Exactly.
that's what I'm saying.
Democrats
You know
That's the
what
whole
I'm
point. So why
Look at
are
your boy Bill Clinton.
98% of, besides Obama, we know why. You know what I'm saying?
Just because
98% of black
nobody
folks don't.
nobody likes the blatant dislike. Nobody likes it. Even so, it's like I always said, it's one thing to think that your, you know what I'm saying, that your boss that you work for is racist because he owns this big company, he owns all these buildings. So you can think all day that, well, this rich guy, he could be racist.
Democrats.
It's another thing to that same boss come into the job one day and say, "Hey, you niggers get to work." Now you know he's now you know he's racist. So it's a whole different kind of thing.
That's
you know what I'm saying? And that's what it is
nowadays.
You know.
Well, see, that's the new paradigm of it all when it comes to, if you look at politics nowadays, they so busy fighting with each other. Red is Republican, blue is Democrats, and white is the privilege that they both share.
Right, exactly.
On some real ass.
You know what I'm saying?
That was groundbreaking right there. That's some real shit, man.
Now, when my avenue is local. You know, you can't step outside, and as far as social scientists, you shouldn't step outside of your region of study or your field of expertise. Right. So I started small with Bell Manor. I went to Mayor Hayes. I said, "Hey, look, I'm in Lewis and Clark doing criminology studies. I think I can find the nature of criminal intent in your city and reduce it." He said, "Well, Bell Manor is my worst area, Josh. Going out to Bell Manor. If you reduce criminal intent in Bell Manor, I'll let you try your method in a bigger range."
BM, I had to shout him out.
Shout out to BM.
It's right down the block.
The Manor.
Now this was 2011, so
the Manor was cracking back then.
We go out
when you was doing this.
We go out to Bell Manor,
3100,
and we got to remember the residents of Bell Manor.
It's a difference. Go ahead.
They're the ones who did this. They're the ones who saved themselves. They're the ones who reduced their own crime. It was the people.
Yeah.
The problem is that they had a nature of social anxiety, meaning like what was getting them all amped up, what was making the numbers at the police department so high. Police department, it was getting out and
they
checking people off nothing. Yeah, 15 feet from the door, criminal trespass. They was hitting everybody with it, so they needed a protection from the nature of social anxiety. You put an advocate out there that's going to get in their face and be like, "Hey, look, you want some bullshit?"
Right.
Eventually, the police kind of laid back a little bit. Management came in and said, "Hey, Josh, we like what you're doing. Here's a position. I need your help." I took that to the police department and mayor, and they ripped it up. We don't care about that. We don't care about that.
Who was that
ice
mayor?
cold.
You know what I'm saying?
APD's
Who was that mayor that did that?
Oh, you trying to get him the name drop over here. Trying to get some snitching going on.
But it's still a private thing. Now,
Who was that guy?
Now the people they did their thing, and with it being a private complex, if the mayor had to shut that place down, all those units of single women, of mothers, would have been homeless. There would have been no. It's not like the housing authority where they're protected under HUD and they get relocated with no problem.
Right.
That's a private complex. It's a little more complex to relocate those people.
I told you it's
shout out to them for trying to put siding out there.
3100, you get relocated.
They put a little playpen, gazebo out there because I've always said you got to make it not look like projects. Because
and before they did any of that, it looked like straight projects.
You wake up and you go outside, you
like
see project shit.
Yeah.
Your mentality is probably to do some project shit.
Well,
depends. We got to see how we talking about.
It's psychosemantics. It's all psychosemantics. It's like the.
But from the outside, I can see what you're saying though.
Like I did a seminar in jail. I was supposed to do it at the YWCA.
Right.
It was on social justice. But I was supposed to switch it from racial justice to social justice, try and transition the people into this new way, progressive. And I got a call saying, "Hey, look, you're never going to do that seminar on intrinsic justice." That was the title of the seminar, intrinsic justice. Meaning your self-efficacy, how you qualify yourself, not letting the outside world qualify you. And you qualify yourself, your family qualifies itself as you pull together, and that becomes your makeup of who you are as your family. Well, they were right. They didn't let me do that seminar. I was arrested.
Damn.
On some other stuff. For real. I mean, of course.
During the seminar?
No, I never made it to the door.
I'm about to say they kept him from going.
They kept me from doing the seminar because they thought that the seminar
wasn't that when you had the kids out there doing the boxing?
That's power.
I'm still going to be doing. We'll come to that too.
Right.
They said it was too much knowledge.
I remember that.
Yeah,
well,
that's deep.
Well, the thing with that is I gave that same seminar at the county. I just wanted to see how it would take. And it took, because it's on psychosemantics. You're in the county, I was talking to the inmates. I'm like, "Hey, look, these bars, the walls, they're all meant to make you kind of, you know,
Feel closed in.
Feel closed in. I was like, you came in as fathers, you came in as sons, you came in as brothers, you came in under whatever it is that you did, you were going through that moment at the time. That doesn't define you as a total person. So you don't have to come in here and be on something because you're in the same situation as all the rest of us. I can't go nowhere, you can't go nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to.
Yeah. That's more that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you don't have to act that way because you're locked up
keep you closed in.
You know, and it took. So we fast forward, and you just as a social advocate and grassroots, you just got to keep the fight. You know, and as I up the playing field was to move into politics. As I said, I started with precinct committeemen with the Democratic Party, and I'm currently the only person to be censored for the Democratic Party. Because
what you mean by censored?
Well, it's when you speak out and you speak towards something that the whole of the party is saying, no, we don't want you saying stuff like that. Like they tried to censor Donald Trump.
So somebody came to you and was like, don't talk about this? Or
well, it was
it more like
we're talking local politics because I want people out there, I want you guys to wake up to the Republican and Democrat situation in Madison County. You know, we've been voting blind for too long.
We've been voting
blind Democrat. We've been voting blind Democrat for too long.
So you talking about when you was, you know what I'm saying, coming in little meetings with your camera and, you know what I'm saying, trying to get people to talk about the realness. You talking about that time?
Yeah, right. During that time.
Okay.
Well, it came down to the county races between Princeler and Dunston. You know, Princeler's in office now.
Yeah, he's going for governor now.
No, that's Princeler.
Princeler, okay.
Princeler is the county board. I'm running for county board now, too. So everybody out there this year, you know, we can get me in there. You know, the people we can vote, I'll be on there, not as a write-in candidate, but actual Joshua Young.
Okay.
And I'm on there as a green candidate because of this story I'm telling you about. The
all y'all got to do is go vote.
Yeah.
Don't talk about it, be about it. I don't want to see. I don't want to hear nobody.
It's going to be November.
I don't want to hear nobody talk about their issues and they don't like what's going on.
Yeah, we got enough time.
I don't want to see nobody talk about, I don't like this. And if you don't go vote. If you don't go vote.
Yeah, if you don't participate, don't hate.
Well, then shut the fuck up.
Right.
Don't hate if you don't participate.
That's all it is.
You got to look at this blind voting category of us voting blind Democrat. You, look at the candidates, people. You know, get out there. You know, you can go to the Madison County website and you can pull up all of the candidates. You can, you know, then from there you can search like T.L. Harnerman. You can search J.B. Pritzler.
The whole all the Illinois candidates.
Yeah,
say that website one more time so we all.
It's you can just Google Madison County, Illinois.
Okay,
it'll bring you to Google's or Madison County's website link, and then when you go in there, then you can find the information about all the candidates that you will see on your ballot this November.
As easy as Google, and you can do it.
Y'all or that do it. Don't be lazy.
You know, this March.
Fucking Facebook trying to figure out who talking the best shit about love and whatever hoes.
Now, right on. Now we voting for the primary right now. Right now, if you know, for us as Democrats, and you know, of course, I'm a Democrat, even though I ran green. We'll get to that story. But for the Democratic primary, you know, this is going to be the chance. I know it's a lot of media out there saying, okay, well, J.B. Pritzler is buying the black vote. He's meeting with the pastors and all the high end. They say
all the rich pastors.
You know what I'm saying?
See pastors over there. Hey, pastors,
I ain't know that was pimps.
I'm telling you,
pastors. I ain't know what was going on.
He had to go Versace's
Either way, shout out to Tyrone Muhammad. You did your thing on that one.
Somebody had some hoes.
I'm telling you.
Right.
I ain't know that was pimps or fucking pastors, but either way, somebody has some hoes.
The pastor tried to stop him. He's shining. He probably was blinding him. He's like, hold on, brother.
But
and the pastors was ready to whoop something real quick.
One for JB.
As soon as JB stepped out that room, them pastors got ugly.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as he stepped out the room, they went right to defend him. Now, we can look back throughout our cultural standard, and we can call it whatever we want to call it. Now, I'm trying to be as non-objective as possible as a representative because you got to be. But you know, the truth is the truth. It's time for, you know, black people as a sub-demographic to wake up all the way. In Madison County, and especially here in Alton, because we can set the example for the rest of the minority demographics to Madison County because we have the largest population of minorities in this city.
Didn't know that. That's crazy.
So whatever we do here as far as renaissance towards cultural harmony, new businesses, new champions like yourselves, those things go out to Brooklyn and Venice and Granite City, and they say, hey, look, they doing it over there in Alton. You know, We want to do it like them.
Right.
And we can do that. So me running this race for county board, gives me, if I win that seat, it gives me the ability to utilize those tools and kind of network with other board members to bring those things directly to our service.
Boy, you just got me excited right there.
Without all that backdraw.
Well, all that backdrop.
I just got excited.
It's what the issue is.
A lot of video is.
A lot of people get focused on. Yeah, that's it.
That's it right there.
That's it right there. They got mad when he walked out. But a lot of people are focused on federal level politics, and for the simplest question that exists in every American household is, how am I going to progress my family, pay my bills, get my kids to college, live a good American dream?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you want to focus on, and that stuff is focused at the local levels,
Right.
local and county levels.
Mm-hmm.
So the federal level, yeah, those are good, but we need more people, and that's what I do.
The federal is just for the funding. Just give us the money.
Yeah, I spend
We'll
a
do
lot
it
of
all.
time researching the House
Local
bills,
matters.
and
That's
Senate
local
bills,
matters.
Yeah,
Right.
shit matter.
because
That's where it starts at.
that's where it
real
starts
shit.
at. It
Yeah.
directly breaks down.
Exactly,
If your
yeah.
neighborhood's bad,
And Alton
you
is,
address it
is
locally.
one of these places, man, where it can. I mean, it's
Alton can be the
right
bomb.
there on the fingertips. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For it just need to for it to be happening and you to be getting it. It's wide open.
But
You know what I
see,
mean? But it's.
That's the thing is, here in Alton, we got that different tribe mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Now we
Mhm.
talking amongst our people. We got different tribe mentalities. We're still, and I'm just gonna say, we still tied into the Willie Lynch stuff.
So let me ask you this quick question so I can try to, get some, for everybody try to get something out. What's a good way to get these tribes that we have in Alton to get together somehow on the same page?
Well, the one thing that's for sure is we gotta send a message to those that empower those tribes. We gotta send a message out there to the demographic saying, "Hey, look, we ain't taking no more of your Willie Lynches. We ain't taking no more of your Jim Crowisms. You put them in charge, but they don't speak for us; they speak with us. And if they don't want to speak with us, they don't speak at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's
That's how it's supposed to be.
how it's supposed to
Hold
be.
them accountable.
We hold them accountable. Now, once they start to see that the power of the people they placed in charge, and Martin Luther King Jr. spoke about it on his Knock at Midnight speech. He spoke about the thing called black supremacy, which is created by white supremacy,
Mm-hmm.
where, and you see it in every city, every large demographic and black population, you see it, like the pastors that was on that video,
Mm-hmm.
where they go to them and say, hey, look, we're the supremacy on our side of the fence, but we need you to handle your people.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to give you the power. We're going to put you in positions of power. And those positions of power will be over your own people,
But not over us.
but not over us.
Yeah.
And they
Speaking of.
seem
Not
to
us.
just always
Yeah,
use
yeah,
religion.
not us.
But
Religion is like the easiest way to get to black folks.
But it,
I mean,
it's,
it is,
it's
'cause
fear,
that's-
though.
That's
Yeah.
a church.
It's the most
church meaning
organized.
everybody, exactly.
Yeah.
You got the most people in one spot
Out the
at
black
same
community,
time.
that
You know
is the
what I'm
most
saying?
organized.
If
So-
you can
so now if I can
control
give
the
if I can
church
give
and
it
the
to-
community,
Yeah.
you pretty much
Because if I can tell this
making it happen.
Church numbers
100
are
people at
suffering
a
lately, though.
time.
Times is changing.
Oh, yeah,
Times
church
is
numbers
changing. Times
but
is
it's still,
changing.
But it's still 100 people at a time. That in Chicago, thousands of people at a time. That one pastor can influence to JB.
I
True.
think
They be having a
You know what I'm
following.
saying?
That's what it is.
Right.
The church has the following.
If I'm telling you don't vote him, and oh yeah, pastor, I ain't gonna vote for him. You know what I'm saying? And
But see, that's the thing is, you can bust down those pastors that you saw. You can bust their power by getting educated.
right.
yeah.
You bust their power by being educated on the people that are out there running for you.
Mm-hmm.
That way, when they stand up in the congregation, they be like, hey, look, we got these people that's going to come in on this day of church, family and friends day, who never show up any other day.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
But they
For
here
sure.
now. They here
For
now.
sure.
I'm an old Easter motherfucker myself. You know?
And half the time they don't even
Easter,
they don't
yes,
even
that's
go through
my-
the
that's my
church
church
services, right? They standing up when they supposed to be sitting down. They sitting down when they supposed to be standing
Yeah.
up. They
They need to
not.
be fucking up the whole service.
Yeah, they don't even know.
Get up in there, be messing some shit up.
It's black people got a routine in church.
Yeah, be ready, man.
Well, you don't sway left when we
But-
swaying right.
But you got to get educated. if you hear, one advocate for a person say, okay, look, we want y'all to get out there and vote for J.B. Prisler. The first question to ask them is, what's your interest in J.B. Prisler?
Right.
They should be able to break it down what their interest is, what JB's topic is
You just
about.
like this commercial.
I mean,
I said
had-
shit.
he's
I had
spending
to
that.
check him out.
He's spending that,
I mean, I
that
had to check
bread
him
on
out. I didn't really
commercials.
check him
Yeah,
out
he's spending a lot of
too
money.
fast.
He
but
is. He's
he
spending
caught my
money.
attention. And you know what he caught my attention with?
But all the candidates is talking about. We're talking about the weed.
Yeah.
Oh, time out. That's what they all say. Listen, Barack Obama lied to us twice. The second time, he was like, no, I'm there for this time. Y'all elect me. I swear to God, we going to be legal tomorrow. Nigga.
But that's different federally.
It's different federally, but he still lied to you twice.
He lied. Yes.
But yeah, he still lied to me twice.
I ain't say he didn't.
No, I'm not going to say he lied to you.
Well, he sold the bag.
I mean, politics.
He didn't get it done. That's it.
Politics and legislation
when he got elected the second time, it wasn't even a priority for him. I guess it was because they was holding him up on other shit too. But you know what I'm saying?
He was occupied, but at the same time.
The weed thing just wasn't even a priority.
Well, there's a
but Illinois,
I guess he was like, listen, as long as I can get it passed in D.C., I'm smoking, I'm 100. Sasha,
Illinois, bro, we should have been legalized that shit.
Because Obama probably like...
Booker.
Yeah.
Now, you got to look at politics is a little more complicated than that. The representation that you select, those are the ones that are really making the laws.
You used to watch that show with Cory Booker.
The governor, he's got a limited
shit.
responsibility with that. He's signing bills.
When he was
the
mayor.
president got limited responsibility, signing bills. But your legislators are the ones that you get on. Like here in Illinois, you know, weed is legal for medical purposes up until the year 2020.
Because it's a program. It's a program.
Then they got to read.
Then they got to read. They got to go right back at it
and figure out if they want to keep it or not.
Yeah.
Now, all of the gubernatorial candidates is talking about, on the Democratic side. I've been listening to them. The Republican side, totally different monster. But when it comes to the minority demographic, we talking Democrat and things other than Republican mostly.
Mm-hmm.
All of them is talking about legalizing weed.
Right.
Why?
Recreationally.
Because it entertains the black attention.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
As soon as I'm saying, I'm
just like I said, weed. That's the first thing to come out. I had to check him out.
Let me check him out.
Yeah.
But you got to look at while he's saying this now, what was he doing before the campaign started?
Right.
Yeah, what were they doing?
Locking motherfuckers up.
Yeah, what were they doing before the campaign?
He was probably like, we need 50 raids a day.
And most of them, they're running campaigns. You can Google their information and pull up and find it. But then try and research your way back in their past. Mm-hmm. That's what you can do. You can get educated as voters. And by your education, you take away their ability to blind vote you by having a pastor come in and say, hey, look, everybody, we're voting this way. That's who you vote for.
Mm-hmm.
You can be a conscientious, woke, looking right at the panel voter. That's what breaks it. But I do want us to blindly vote Joshua Young.
I know that's right.
Get that vote in November.
Okay. Because we just.
But it ain't blind though. My personal opinion.
The opponent, he's a Democrat, and as I said, I went green this time because we had an issue with our primaries within the Democratic Party. So in order to keep the fighting going on, I decided to go ahead and go green.
Right
now, the going to green was because the Democratic Party here in Madison County is a mess. And they haven't been. The whole Illinois Democratic Party hasn't been looking at the minority demographic situation well enough. They've been taking.
That's been going on since the 1930s.
Yeah, they've been stuck for a while. Well, before I get you out of here, I want you to give your opinions on our current governor.
Okay, right. He's a piece of shit.
How much money do you think he racked up though?
But
straight like that.
The issue with the current governor, and I just bypass them all the way around because I like to look at who's affecting us locally. Because the governor, he might be a thing for us to lobby to and get our representatives to get up there and do something about it. But that's who we get on. We get on the representatives that we elected. It's their job to put that in check. It's their job.
What's his name? Rauner?
Yeah,
he ain't on shit.
He a shithole, but I ain't gonna say nothing else.
So you gotta contact the representatives and say, look, do something about that.
Okay, yeah.
But I think this year, I think the Democratic Party will be strong. If they're gonna speak the right language, the primary is gonna be tough. Three of the candidates I kind of like. I like Biss. I like T.O. Hardeman especially. He seems like he's the most genuine when it comes to the minority vote. I'm just gonna say he gets it. He deserves it. Not because he's black.
I always
been out there doing
because he get it.
I always try to tell people all the time, and I guess my white friends like, well, why would you, why do you care if he's more for the minority side? I'm like, because everyone already has your best interests
Yeah, that's just
They already got
American
you. Yeah,
life.
that's just what it is. So
That's every day.
I literally have to go out there and really pick between. Okay, now I mean little bitty shit too. Okay,
That's like the thing
okay. He like
of when
he like the toilet paper
like,
that I like because it's a little bit cheap. So I'm probably gonna fuck with that. That's how little.
Yeah.
That's how technical black
that's
people
like
gotta
white
be with the
people
fucking
like,
phone.
oh, why is there black
You know what I'm
why is there
saying?
black entertainment television?
Yeah, that's some hate.
Because every
every
television period is
all
white.
the other 100
So we just
channels.
needed one.
Yeah, they
I
don't
mean,
understand.
but we gonna take this.
Just them not understanding that let you know. Though,
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But we thank you for coming through, Mr. Joshua.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Mr.
Yeah,
Young.
yeah,
I didn't get to what we wanted to, but we definitely gonna have to have you back.
We gonna have you
We gonna
back,
definitely have to have you
man.
back.
Yeah,
Definitely
hey,
for November.
Hey, before I go though, I do want to let everybody know that again, the Buffalo Soldier Walk is coming up.
Support. How do they get involved if they want to get involved?
Well, they can reach me on Facebook. I'll put a third annual Buffalo Soldier
Joshua
post up.
Young.
At Joshua Young. You can reach me there. Also, we're still doing the Fist Up Guns Down.
Okay,
You know,
that's what's up.
we're still gonna box it out.
I
We're
might get
waiting.
up in there
Salty,
for
we ain't getting to get into that
15
because I
seconds.
remember you was involved with that. That shit was
Hey,
good,
y'all
man.
call me back next
trying
week
to
and
get
we'll talk.
buddy,
We'll
man.
talk
That's-
purely boxing.
Can I
Man, that
get
shit was
15
crazy,
seconds?
man.
Man,
I'm tired.
the program
I'm old
designed
now.
out
I
is
just need-
awesome. So you guys call me
what's up,
back and
man.
we'll talk boxing. But
I
gotta
just
get
want to
you back
box
down here.
Adrian. Can I box him 15 seconds? At 15 seconds?
They got power bomb.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, about
The
that.
fuck?
All right, we be
He out
back.
my
We'll
weight
be
class.
back.
Right on.
He out my weight class. Son.